Hello and welcome, Felicity. Thanks so much for coming to talk to us today. We're looking at a graph here, which is a results graph from the E-BARQ survey. And the E-BARQ stands for Equine Behaviour Assessment and Research Questionnaire. And it's a longitudinal study by the University of Sydney. And it's really great because what happens is you go in and you fill in the questionnaire about your horse, which will take you 20 to 30 minutes. And it gives you these results, and you can go in every 6 months and get new results for your horse. So we've got Felicity here today, who's got this beautiful buckskin quarter horse of hers. The horse hasn't been very straightforward, but when she did the E-BARQ, she got some really interesting results. Now, this was done a couple of months ago. So Felicity's keen to go and do it again because what's happened with the results is it's given her some particular areas that the horse is having trouble with. It's highlighted those areas that the horse is having trouble with, and it's allowed her to focus her training and management on changing those things for the horse so that she can improve the horse's training and performance and overall welfare. So Felicity, can you just talk us through each of the points in this graph and tell us how doing the E-BARQ has helped you understand this horse?
Okay, thanks, Kate. I have been having some issues with this horse since I got him, and I was really astounded when I did the E-BARQ, which was fabulous, about the areas where he was lacking. And I guess initially I thought, oh yeah, that's painfully obvious, but when I broke it down, it actually made me focus on each area and work specifically on helping that area. And as I did that, I noticed that other things got better too. So it became an ongoing effect with the horse. And this was done in October 2019, and I'm really keen to do another one soon because I'm anticipating that I'll see a big improvement in the areas where his scores very, quite low. I was quite shocked actually at how low in some areas he scored. So it was very good at identifying the specific areas.
And which areas in particular were you surprised to see his scores were low?
Well, I've had many horses over most of my lifetime, and I was quite surprised to see that rideability, he was at a 2 and the average is 4. In fact, it might have been just a smidge below 2. And if I had seen this to go and buy him previous to this, or I was examining this, if I had to use this as a tool, I would have walked away from it, because who wants to have a horse that's only half, it is, that much worse than the average horse. So that was quite surprising, especially when you get a little bit older. And the other thing as well was his human social confidence. That again was down at a 2, and the average horse looks like it's sitting at about a 4.5. So again, being the sort of person that I am, and I know how I like to interact with my horses, I wouldn't want a horse that was not confident about being around with people and wanting to be engaged with people. So that would have been a deal breaker for me as well with purchasing the horse. The other things that I was surprised about was the non-human social confidence, because I see his major issues are that he's very cautious and sometimes can be a little aggressive with humans. So I would have thought the non-human social confidence would have been something he would have scored higher on, but he's on a 3 with that, maybe a smidge of 4.3, and the average is a 4. And the other thing, which was he scored higher than I thought he would, was the touch sensitivity. Because when I first got him, he hated being touched. He would try and bite you, flinch away from you. Even to just brush him with a gentle body brush, you would have thought that you were trying to, electrocute him. So he scored a 3 on that, even though the average looks like it's about a 4 or 4.1. I would have thought his score on that would be a lot lower. So there were some things there that were very surprising, others that were maybe a little bit obvious, but it actually really honed in onto the things that he needed a lot of work with. So it's fantastic.
Oh, interesting. And which areas are you expecting him to have increased his scores in?
I think that he would have, just from not because of the work I've been doing, but his overall relaxation and things. I think I'm anticipating that he will score much more robustly and a higher score in the touch sensitivity, because the issues that I mentioned about not wanting to be touched and a body brush being an issue or what have you, that's totally gone. If anything, he seeks that out. He loves that. The human social confidence, I'm sort of thinking that those two with him may be correlated, and therefore with the increased, loving to be touched and things and brushed and fiddled over, which, we love to do, or some of us love to do, I think that will actually enhance the human social confidence side of things.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Yep.
And the rideability, whilst he has been throwing some things up, not particularly awful, but he seems much more willing to be more forward-going, listening to verbal cues, and much more responsive to the written work. So I'm hoping that will go up. I don't think it'll be huge, because we've certainly got a long way to go, but even if we sneak up towards 2.5 or 3, I'd be delighted.
Because one of the problems with him was the forward going, and I see here in forward going he's scored, below the average. The blue line is the average of the population. He scored below that. So I suppose when that will also be reflected in his rideability score to some extent. So seeing an increase in both will be good. The rideability, you're going to get all about his responsiveness to all of your cues. So that's excellent. I think the thing to remember as well with E-BARQ is this blue average is the average of the whole population of horses that have done the E-BARQ. So that's a moving average. And as we get more horses that take E-BARQs, that average is adjusted with every horse that comes in. So that's not static, which is also really interesting as well to see as the database grows, to see how that changes. Anyway, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Felicity. That was really helpful.
You're welcome. I enjoyed doing the E-BARQs, and I think that it's a fantastic tool, and very worthwhile for any horse owner to fill out.
Terrific, thank you. And if you haven't done an E-BARQ yet, do go to www.e-barq.com. Bye.